Hello, this is Dale Ray, and I'm coming to you live from Houston, Texas. I want to thank y'all for joining me today, and we got a great show. First I want to thank our volunteers here at Gaining Ground for the selfless hours of their time and effort in helping others throughout the Humble and Houston, Texas area. And of course, they have been indispensable as far as compensating for the shortage of absence of paid professionals. And of course, here at Gaining Ground, our volunteers have also gained a level of expertise, and it does exceed that of any professional. We also realize that lasting personal and social change can only come about when we all work together. That's why strengthening community and the family structure, it's our cause. And we do work side by side with our clients and our neighbors to make sure that everybody, that's the teens, men and women included, have that opportunity to better themselves and to grow and become productive in our community, but also in our society as a whole. The purpose of a radio show, Dale Ray Raw and Uncut, is to address the issues we face in our communities. It's a radio show that I'm very proud to be a part of, because I got to tell you that I've been there and done that. And today, in my 12th year of sobriety, I want to be that voice that says it's up to us to make the change. And it's up to us to leave a legacy that says that we were here. Thank y'all for joining me today. Our show is about, black men having it hard out here. First of all, I want to say, like all of my other brothers, I want to say to all my brothers out there that, getting a job interview doesn't mean you'll be accepted. And we know that already. And even when the black men get into the door for an interview, it doesn't mean that the most qualified person gets the job. And I got to keep it real, folks, that even if the brother is qualified, he doesn't, a lot of times he don't get a call in return. He doesn't get a return call, and that's not cool. And now we understand why a lot of anger is growing in the black community. And just because we have a black president doesn't mean he is going to be our savior. We know that. And it's so sad, because if we do our history, we see that in the Western world, its cities and its institutions, and even the wealth, is built on black slavery. You name the place and you'll find that its riches were built on the backs of the black man and woman. But yet today it's hard to get a job. Read the newspaper, people. You'll see that we live in and under a elitistic Anglo-American power structure that's racist towards certain ethnicities. And from the moment that a majority of black children are born in this United States, the odds are stacked against them. And I knew that even when I was coming up in grade school. I remember when I was in the 4th grade, I can vividly remember my teacher asking me to read a paragraph on George Washington. And I refused to do that. I told her I wanted to read on, Frederick Douglass. And then she put me in the corner. Our people have been confined to live in ghettos with poor housing. And it's time that we help ourselves. We also have less access to health care and a lower life expectancy. And I got to call it like I see it. And like I said, people, what about our future generation? What will we tell them about fairness? And I also want to be fair and honest to say to black folks everywhere, I don't think everybody is against us. And then there is the white folks who say they only see blacks as criminals. And on the flip side of that, why don't we stop making rap music that says, hey, let's go out and kill police? The problem also lies in that some white folks, they don't, they find it uncomfortable to live in black neighborhoods. What about the media and what they show about black people? So what would you think if you were white and you heard music that says go out and pimp white women or calling your black brother the N-word? It's crazy. And then we get on our brothers and sisters who are intelligent and moving up the corporate ladder. What's wrong with us, man? And then we accuse him of selling out. We need to stop it. Because if he acts educated, then we accuse the brother or sister of being conditioned by the system. And it's like some of us out there want him to fail. It's like we expect him to act ghetto. I don't understand that, do you? And I think we should join together and say that the portrayal of black people would so much be better if we stand together. If we need to get away from rap stuff. That's garbage. It's sending a bad message. It's not doing us any good, and it only perpetuates the negative image that white folks like to use against us. And it's about helping ourselves, people. We shouldn't worry about that slave thing, because although it's been abolished, the entire culture is a slave culture today. It means people of every ethnic group, colors or creed, slave away under this giant debt. We slave away at our jobs, but we also become overworked and depressed and one paycheck from financial disaster. And like I said, I'm going to keep it real on Dale Ray Raw and Uncut. And I try to look at everything from all perspectives. And to put it simply, there are those who are not comfortable seeing black males around. And so they make it difficult than it needs to be. And there are many instances where we are met with hostility. But also in life situations, we have to prove we're not with all that negative stereotype madness. And let me say to my white brothers out there, sir, when you see a brother riding in a nice car, it doesn't mean he's a drug dealer. And not all black men are the same. We are like the rest of you. And of course, some of us are in jails, and some of us are not. Some are making a good life for themselves. And we should all stop being so ignorant. And I want to say to my black brothers out there, no matter what we go through, we'll make it through, man. But we got to stand together. And we already know that being black in this country requires a high responsibility, if we want it or not. And if we can understand that we stand on the shoulders of millions of people who've sacrificed their livelihoods so that we can make something out of ourselves, we should be proud to be black men. And it's about being true to ourselves and, of course, our culture. It's through knowledge and the awareness of our history that we should realize that we are strong. And of course, racism still exists. But remember that there is power in unity. And being black to me means we must keep striving for excellence, no matter what our background is. And as I speak to big audiences, I'm amazed, I'm astonished when I see people kind of retreat when they hear me speak as an intelligent black man. And I got to define who Dale Ray is and not others. I've also learned to expand my definition of who I really am, and it goes beyond culture. And this word race is a term invented by those who want to place limits on people. Listen to me, my brother. We define who we are, what we want, and how to achieve it. Those who rap about calling the sister the B word, you need to stop. And those who talk about killing police, you need to stop it. You need to stand with the real black men out here without violence, without carrying guns. But it's living up to your true potential as a black man. And we must educate the young minds out there and give them the guidance they need to prosper in today's society. You can't mentor these young kids and still talk about selling poison in the neighborhood. And you, my brother, are a hypocrite. Michael Jackson said, "Look at the man in the mirror." And how can you say you respect your elders when you stand in front of their houses selling drugs? You got to put down the guns and go above and beyond in your home, in your neighborhood. And if you only knew that you as a black man was born out of a long line of greatness, then you wouldn't do what you're doing to destroy our communities, man. Yeah, we got it hard, but what do we do with it? And for me to be a black man is simply to live the only life I have. And regardless of obstacles, I must overcome. I'll make it through the storms. And my mom, who raised me, she laid the foundation for my accomplishments. And she taught me how to love my country, this country, America, but to also love myself despite racism. And as I said before, I love everybody, red, brown, yellow, and black. But sometimes we must prepare for the struggle. And it doesn't mean that we'll fail. It just means sometimes we have to kick some doors down in order to achieve greater results. I've always been told that if you want to compete with the white boys, then you have to be twice as good and work twice as hard. And today I am a recovering addict with 12 years clean and sober. And with that clarity, I gotta say, being a black man has become a real responsibility for me. And I take it very serious. I have a responsibility not only to my home, my generation of young black men too. And as an elder, I gotta take this torch that has been passed on to me from those who was here before me. And as black men, we must continue to fight the good fight of faith. We must keep our future from becoming dim. Even with discrimination, we must stand as men as our forefathers did. I don't know about you, but after sleeping on a cardboard box in a dark alley in San Francisco, and 20 years of crack addiction, and also the loss of close family members, I got to tell you that without a doubt, I feel I'm one of God's strongest creatures. I want y'all to stay with me. We got a great show. I want to thank y'all for joining me on Dale Ray Raw and Uncut. You know, you can go to our website and check out our organization and see what we do, what we stand for. We have core values. We have a mission statement. Hey, we got it going on, and what we want to do is be a part of the solution instead of the problem. And today we're talking about the black man having it hard. And as a black man, sometimes it seems that everybody has a set of chains for you to wear. One group wants to chain you with their fear. Another group wants to chain you with low expectations. Those are the ones who say you ain't going to amount to anything. And then you have that group that want to chain the black man with all the sins and failures. And like I said, I am not a racist because some of my best friends are white. But I got to say to some of those good old boys out there, first, you need to stop projecting your problems on us. Why don't you focus on yourself? And when you do, and if you are honest, you'll see what's going on within your own race. But how can you